Okay, we are entering Unit 6, and I really think you guys are going to like this one. We're going to be multiplying fractions, so we've learned how to add and divide, or add and subtract, so now we're going to multiply fractions, and I really think you guys are going to enjoy this, and I think it's going to come fairly easy to you guys, so let's write. Today we're going to work on decomposing fractions. Except this time, see, we did this earlier when we did our adding and subtracting fractions, but now we're going to look at decomposing a fraction when we're multiplying. So, decomposing fractions with multiplying. Okay, and we are on page 8. I want you guys to turn to your decomposing fractions from your addition and subtraction from Unit 5. Mine's on page 62, but yours might be a different page. But I just want us to look at the similarities between decomposing fractions with addition and decomposing fractions with multiplication. So remember, decomposing is when you break down a fraction. So with addition, we broke it down by figuring out our numerator, right? We always work with our numerator in fractions. We looked at how you could break down a 7 into an addition problem. So you could do 5 plus 2 or 4 plus 3. And we showed this by using a number line. So with multiplication today, it's going to be fairly the same. So I think you'll like it because you'll have some background knowledge on it. Okay? Right. So let's turn. Today I will decompose fractions using multiplication. Okay, let's review. So decompose means to break down a number into smaller parts, right? And remember when we decompose a fraction, so like 3/8, we only decompose the numerator. And we do that the same thing with multiplication as well. Okay? So a new word to learn that we're going to learn today is called unit fraction. So a unit fraction is any fraction with a numerator of 1. So some examples are like 1/3 is a unit fraction. 1/5 is a unit fraction. So when we are decomposing a fraction using multiplication, we decompose it by using a unit fraction. So let's take a look. Let's say that we have 4/6 and we want to decompose it using multiplication. Here is how we could do so. We want to use a unit fraction. So we know that our denominator is going to stay the same. Okay? So let's say I want to do 1/6, right? Because that's my unit fraction. I got to figure out what times 1/6 is going to give me 4/6. So I need to think of what whole number when multiplied by 1 is going to give me 4/6. Well, 4, right? When you have a whole number like this, imagine that it's under a 1, right? So if you were to put over a fraction, 4 divided by 1 is 4, okay? So if you were to bring it back to a fraction, 4 times 1 is 4, 6 times 1 is 6. So we can decompose a fraction by using a benchmark fraction, and by adding in a whole number. So we just decomposed 4, 6. Now I want you to show me how you can represent it using a number line and an area model. Okay, so let's take a look. So let's say we want to show we want to show 4, 6 decompose by using a number line. First thing we want to do is draw out what whole number needs to be multiplied by our unit fraction. The only way to figure out your unit fraction is to take your denominator, put a 1 on top, and then figure out how you're going to get your numerator to the number that you need it. Okay, so we figured out that 4 times 1 6 would give us 4 6. So let's look at a number line. Okay, so we have 0 here. We have 6 parts. We're going to break up our number into 6 parts. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so we have 1 6, 2 6, 3 6, 4 6, 5 6, and 6 6, which we know is our 1. So our 1 is here. So we have our 0 here and our 1 over here. Okay, so here's how we would represent 4 times 1 6. So take another color. So we're going to do, okay, so here's how I want you to think about when you're trying to represent a decomposed fraction using multiplication. Here's how I want you to think about it. This 4 is, draw a little arrow, that's how many times you jump. So that's like how many humps that you have, okay? So that's how many times you jump, okay? The 1 6, your unit fraction, is how far you jump each time. So it's how far you jump. So let's look at it in the case of what we have. We have 1 6. We need to jump 1 6 4 times. Okay? So I'm going to take another color. So I'm going to do 1 6, 2 6, 3 6, 4 6. I jumped 1 6 4 times. That gave me my answer of 4 6. Okay? And we can tell that 4 6 is less than 1 because there's about still 2 more places for us to go. So 4 6 is less than 1. Okay? This looks just like what we already know of repeated addition. Right? When you multiply, the reason we multiply is to make, so we're not adding all these big numbers together, but you can do repeated addition and get the same answer as if you were multiplying. So we could do 1 6 plus 1 6 plus 1 6 plus 1 6, and that would also give us 4 6. So your number line is pretty much like repeated addition, right? Okay, so you can do a number line, or you can do an area model. You need to know how to do both. So I want to represent my decomposed fraction of 4 times 1 6 using an area model. Okay, so now I want to represent 4 times 1 6 using the area model. Here's how we would do that. So we could do 1 6. So we're going to draw one area model, 6 parts. Okay, how many are shaded? 1. Okay, so this would be 1 6 times 1. So to make it 1 6 times 4, what do I have to do? I have to draw 3 more area models. So I'm going to draw 3 more area models that are broken into 6 parts because that's my denominator. Oop. Okay. I'm going to shade in my 1, 6, 1, 6, 1, 6. So if you were to look at this, you would think, okay, this is 1, 2, 3, 4 times, when I'm multiplying, it's out of 6, 1 is shaded, so it's 4 and 1, 6. Okay? So I'm going to give you 1. I'm going to already decompose it for you, and I want you to show me using a number line and an area model. I want you to show that 5/7 can also be written as 5 times 1/7. Okay? So here is your decomposed fraction put into multiplication form. I want you to show me using a number line and an area model. Okay, see you tomorrow.